Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Richie here from Derry After Dark. Unfortunately, the mountain has been called back to his hold and has to go work for Mini Wargaming today. So I have taken the opportunity to invite Tom Carley back onto the channel.
Hey everyone, great to be back. Thanks for having me on, Richie.
That's right, mate. How is everybody in the chat? I hope you're all well. We have some pretty big news that we are announcing today. So people say that you need to be the change that you want to see. So we are taking over the Old World events at the UKTC. We have been to loads of events around the UK and also now abroad. And we basically have been asked to try and run those events in the same kind of vein as the other good events that we've been to. So hopefully we can bring some awesome events to the local towns near you around the UK.
Yeah, and I mean, this year, Richie and myself, we've been really focused on the teams thing. But last year, we tried to visit as many different venues as we could across the country, not knowing what was coming and the gracious thing that we've been bestowed upon by UKTC. But that knowledge of all the different areas we've been to, hopefully it pays off and we can bring a little bit of good from what we've seen from everybody, you know?
Yeah, Zach is actually completely on board. Well, we didn't know this before, but he actually used to love fantasy back in the day. So he's literally given us full reins to do whatever we want to do and to try and make the events as good as we possibly can. So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll end up pretty good.
Yeah, full reigns are good, carte blanche in a lot of ways. So we're going to be just starting off doing what everyone's doing. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, so it's just going to be a damn good singles event. A good friend of ours, Richard Manclow, is helping us with LGT, and that'll be the first one using our pack. But yeah, just really trying to get the best singles event forward that we can. And then if that goes well, who knows?
Yeah, so Tom, unfortunately, we're not running the LGT. That is getting ran by our friend Rich and also Paul as well. They are going to use our pack. So it's basically, we're just not telling him what to do, but it's going to be run under the same vein. So it's going to be just try to be as fun and just as proper old world as possible, and just try and be inclusive to all kind of players as well, whether you be a new player or a highly competitive player. Just try and make sure that everyone feels welcome and everyone has the best time possible. Unfortunately, we are in Germany playing in Worlds when LGT is happening, so we are taking off in Coventry. So the 22nd and the 23rd of October will be the first one that we personally run. But if anyone wants to come to them, please let us know. Unfortunately, we are aware that the Coventry event does collide with Ollie's Welsh Open. This is massively unfortunate, as those events are absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, as the UKTC are big events and they're already booked in, there's nothing that we could really do about that. But hopefully, obviously, there's no hard feelings to Ollie. His events are amazing. So if anybody wants to go to them, please feel free. Like, those are great events too. So
And we're near enough the other end of the country as well. You know, Coventry to Wales, we're not next door, so hopefully we're not stealing any tickets or anything like that. And yeah, hopefully there's enough old world to go around as well. This is one of the most exciting things that we have working alongside UKTC and Zach, is we have the scope for some truly large events. You know, our primary goal is to work around 60 people for events, but we can keep going up from there. And the sky is truly the limit there. So, the old adage, if you build it, they will come. We're building it.
yeah,
So,
100%.
yeah.
So we've been chatting to Zach, and something that we really hopeful for next year. Like, I don't think it's probably going to happen this year, just because there's a load of other really good events on at the end of the year. But potential to get those 100, 120, 150 man GTs back, like in the heydays of fantasy. And that is something that we would absolutely love to see from the UKTC, because the sky's literally the limit. He has capacity and he has the terrain to be able to do that. So as long as people can put up with us, then yeah, hopefully we can build something amazing.
And for those who haven't been, just to give you a nutshell view of what a UKTC event is like, they're a super large gathering of gamers where you have a multitude of different systems being played under one roof. 40k is predominantly the largest representation there. There's also Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Kill Team, Old World, lots of other games going on. Pretty much all GW games, but sometimes there are others as well. There is always a very fantastic bar on site with multiple bartenders, so you're never queuing for half an hour waiting for your beer. There's always a really good trade store on site. They do prize support like I've never seen in UK events. And they all do fun little things that are tailored to each different one. So blind bags at some events and hobby bingo at others. And so they're all really a great event to go to, and you'll get a lot out of it and meet a lot of people.
So more Robot Wars content. So controversially, we are actually banning the Green Knight. Over the controversy that the LGT had last year, we are taking this chance to ban the little bastard and say that he's not allowed in the events going forward, at least for the time, like for the time period anyway. So the way that we thought about that is the Green Knight being banned doesn't affect any of the top tables, and also it does kind of negatively impact the lower tables. People that have just come for fun, that don't have an army that can deal with him, that can just feel like a bit of a feels bad. So we have taken the executive decision to ban him, unfortunately, for anyone that is a Green Light lover. But after the controversy last year, it's gone. We're not even going to deal with that. I don't think it should be in the game personally.
Yeah, and the whole ethos behind getting rid of him, it's like Richie was saying, it's not about taking it away from the player who's going to be coming in first place, because let's be honest, if you're coming first, you can do it without. What this is trying to make sure is that, let's say we have 60 people at an event, the people who are going to come in the bottom 30 are ones who just want to come and have a good time, usually. And things like the Green Knight of, oh, you mean you can charge out of that wood into my deployment zone in my, oh, that early? That doesn't feel good. So we're just trying to make sure that for people who want to come and have a good time at an event, they can know that they can do some with a bit of confidence. And it also proposes a little bit of a challenge for those people who are already incredible Bretonian players. You're all out there. You're all great already. You don't need it. You're so good as it is. You don't need the green crutch.
No, you 100% don't. The army is good enough. You don't need it. So legacies are 100% welcome. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to use the renegade packs. That is down to Zach. But the legacy factions are more than welcome. So if you want to bring your lizards, bring your vampire counts, your ogres or your demons, or even your chorfs, please bring them along. As we do own most of those armies ourselves, we would absolutely love to see them. Canadian Ham, yes, you're right, mate. How's it going? I hope you're well. Yeah, so basically, I forgot Skaven as well. Skaven are obviously welcome too. We're really looking forward to it. Like it should be really, really good. Fingers crossed. I mean, anyway,
we're going to be allowing any printed GW content up to a month before the events, just to give people time. You don't want something amazing coming out 2 days before, where someone's been lucky and read it, and the rest of the event's not caught up on it. Ban Peg Knights for a $5, maybe.
Tanako, yes. If we had the power to ban the Peg Knights, I definitely would. We're just going to start with the Green Knight for now, and then kind of ease into just banning Bretonia. So that's fine.
But banning things and taking things out of the game, it's not something that we've done with, without second thought. We really did think about this hard, and it's not something that we want to set a precedent for. So it's not going to be, but the Green Knight's good, we're going to ban Banshees in the next event. Like, no, we really didn't want to do this. And it's more just a case of, in our opinion, righting some wrongs from last year. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. After the controversy of last year, for those of you who don't know, at the LGT, it was ruled that the Green Knight could come out of any terrain. So he was popping out of hills, he was popping out of vortexes, and this was before vortex spam was a really big thing. So we want to go away from that, and we want everyone to enjoy the event. We have been playing in the WTC online, which the Green Knight has been banned in, and honestly, that's just opened up so many builds that people can run. Like if you were running an Empire gunline, for instance, and that's the way that you really enjoy to play, a Green Knight popping out of woods right in the middle of your deployment is such a feels bad. So getting rid of that means that just loads more people can enjoy some builds that they potentially couldn't have used before. Like you'd be able to run some Slayers and might do a bit better without Green Knight running up your ass. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just fun for everyone, right?
Yeah. Tom Brown, you said we're both working heavily with WTC, and will this allow people to work towards that level of comp? We'd love to do teams events, and that is something we'd love to work towards next year. If you want to get involved with Team England, we have only got control over it this year. A lot of things are going to happen next year, and that's just something where turn up to events, make sure that people know who you are and what you're doing, and just talk to us in the chat. It's not a boys' club, and we've made sure of that. But if there's going to be, if teams is something that people are interested in, be it 4-man, 5-man, or 8-man, we'd obviously be very, very interested in hosting that.
Yeah, for sure. We just want people to have fun. So, question for you, Tom, from Will. Just curious, when's the updates of the shield models with my face on, mate? Have you sent them out yet, or have they not come yet?
They should have been sent out already. I'll chase them up. If they've not already been sent out, I will chase that. They should have been sent last month. So do apologise if you haven't sent that. If you haven't received yours, anyone, just shoot me a message and I'll get you another one sent out.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, the channel members basically got offered a STL or a print of me as a shield bearer king that was made by a channel friend, and they're pretty cool actually. So hopefully they should have been sent out by now.
Cool.
If they're not out, we'll get them sent out.
And they are exclusive as well. You cannot buy that anywhere else. So it's pretty cool. The only way you can get it is to sub into his channel.
So the event that we're taking over from is the 22nd and 23rd of October, Felix Grab. That'll be the first one. And then we also have one, is it December or November, the one after
that? So it's in Leicester, and that's going to be in December, I want to say. It's the week after the War in the Heartlands event. So we're looking for something fun to do there, because War in the Heartlands is a cracking event run by friend Liam, amongst others. And that is one of probably the best singles event you can get around the area. So we're not looking to step on toes, as we said. So we're thinking about maybe doing something a bit different. Again, this is a community-run thing. We will do what you guys want. Doubles is something that we've been floating around. That's something that we'd really be interested in doing, but only if you guys want to do it. So, let us know. There's UKTC Facebook pages. You can let us know through Richie's Discord. You can let us know through the Team England Discord. There's a whole host of ways to get in touch with us. And we just want to build a series of events that you guys want to come to.
Yeah, we just want you to have the most fun possible. Tom Brown, thank you very much for becoming a channel member, mate. I will, I'll keep an eye out for your messages in the Discords as well, mate. Thank you very much for joining. So we've got, Tom's asking if we can get your face on a Beastman as well, Tom.
So it's nothing to do with me. I'm not the sculptor. It's a mutual friend of mine and Richie's, a company called White Angel, who Richie did some promotion for, and it was a thank you back to Richie, I think, for doing that. So I might be able to get my face on a Beastman, but it's going to cost me a little bit of money.
So we've also got a comment from it's you, is it? More Robot Wars content. Basically, are we expecting standards for the can't even speak this morning. I haven't had enough coffee. The Wood Elves and the Herdstone for the terrain. Basically, we're going to go for a idea of don't be a dick. I'm going to write this. I'm going to add this into the pack. No woods that go onto the back of the board, so nothing can interact with you. None of this keyhole herdstoning either. I don't agree with that. Like, if you need that to win, then you need to reassess your life choices, in my opinion.
Those things are a really good opportunity as well for players to express their creativity. Like, my herdstone is something I've been having a great amount of fun building. I wouldn't want to take that away from people. If we ever got to a point where the game would be better off for us to control that stuff and hand it out, that's a decision we'd be willing to make. But for now, it would just be a case of Wood Elf players, you know who you are, you know exactly who you're being spoken to. Don't do it. And Beastman players, you don't need a herdstone that's in the shape of a Pac-Man so that you can slot 5 Bestigor in it. Just don't do it. Use the model that exists as a basis for things.
Tom, so basically the chat about chess clocks, it is getting quite hotly debated at the moment. I personally, so me and Tom are going to be wandering around these events, right? So what I would say to do, instead of having to worry about chess clocks, I don't worry about it at all. If you worry that your opponent is a little bit slow, whether that be that they're new to the game or you think that they're intentionally slow playing, come grab us. We can stand next to the table and we can help out. We don't need to feel pressured into asking for a chess clock at all. We can literally find out what the issue is and we can address that. I don't think that anyone would be slow playing. So if it's just someone that needs a little bit of help going a bit faster, then we can offer that going forward. So don't worry about it at all. Literally zero stress. You will find some people on the top tables that will want to use chess clocks against each other, but that would just be practice for international events, really.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I would say that both players would have to agree on. I 100% wouldn't force someone to use a chess clock if they didn't want to, just because you can weaponize it against the other person. And if they don't know how to do that, then they're at a massive disadvantage, in my opinion.
Yeah, but if it's something like Richie said, if you both agree to use it, that's fine. Do what you want, But if it does get to a point where you're in the first couple of turns and you feel like the game isn't being played fairly in terms of time allotment, please come and get me or Richie at that point, unfortunately, there's so little we can do. If you say there's half an hour left and I've only played turn one, I can't do anything then. But if you get me 20 minutes in, you're like, I've got a bad feeling about this. I can help. I can do something, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Hi, Anthony. How's it going, mate? You okay? Yeah, so when we were in Italy, basically Mop come up to us and he took his time out as his captain's time and was like, right, my opponent I don't think he's slow playing me, but I have had a 5-minute turn and he's had 40 minutes in his turn. Can you please get the judge over to have a look? And it was just literally down to a language barrier thing. So he was trying to explain stuff. Mop wasn't really getting it. So it was like 40 minutes a turn. So we got the judge to stand by him and then it was absolutely fine. And the game got rattled out after that. So that's fine. Right.
So we'd love to have you over in the UK for an event, and something that we've got percolating in the back of our heads for next year is some sort of an exhibition event, which is designed to invite international players to come over. We met some great guys when we were over in Italy, and as much as they love playing teams, they said, "Oh, we want to come over for singles, and we all have a play, and we get different." Countries to come over, so that would definitely be a good excuse for you and maybe a bunch of other Americans that to come over and play in the UK. These will be basically monthly events from next year as well. There are 11 UKTC events across the calendar.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be running all of them just because we've got prior engagements with like other events and like international play and stuff. But we are probably going to try and do one every 2 months for the UKTC. But the other ones are going to be run by our friends. So don't worry at all. They'll all be in the same vein and hopefully they'll all be as fun as each other. Dave, no, you are not getting a free ticket. Sorry, mate. Not for not for dirty little goblins like you.
But yeah, for those who would want to check out Rich and what he does, he runs a great group called Imps Gaming. Does events over in Lincolnshire sometimes as well. I've been to one of his and I had a really great time. So you would absolutely be in the safest of hands. He's an experienced TO who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, for sure. So Kieran, sorry I missed your comment earlier. So there's not going to be a league per se, but what we are thinking of doing is taking something from a tournament system that we used to play in. So me and Tom both met each other in 6th edition. They were kind of like competitive narrative events, and basically we want to steal something from that, which I think would be quite fun. So we have a massive map of the old world, and then we put on pins for all, like in a hex board like the old mighty empires of back in the day, and all of the armies that come to the events. So you would start in a little campaign, so all the chaos would be in the North Wastes, and then like Ulfwan would be coming over from the coast, and we basically expand out on the map when you get wins and then go in towards towns. And then something that we want to progress into going into next year is almost add an element of narrative which doesn't affect the gameplay at all, which would be create Discord groups for people that run those specific armies, and then you can plan what cities or keeps you want to go for, and then we can talk to the other races that are near then. So say if the Chaos want to attack Carrick-Herne, so the Dwarves and the Empire can get together in theirs. We'll let them know what's going on and they can see whether they want to defend that. So adding a little bit of narrative in, but also doesn't affect the gameplay. So that should keep all of like the crunchy number rollers happy, and also all of the narrative players, hopefully anyway.
Yeah, and also it's an excuse to not take the dragon, because we're playing narrative. We all know you're good. We all know you can play the big dragon, but how cool would it be if you didn't play the big dragon? That kind of thing.
People are still going to play the big dragon. I don't think there's anything we can do about that yet.
We can only incentivize so much,
So, Jason, there is an Irish team going to the WTC, I do believe. There's definitely an Irish team that's coming over for Home Nations and is also getting involved for Six Nations next year. So I think they are going to Germany. I'm pretty sure they're in the Team England Discord as well, actually, if you wanted to post a message about it. So I'm pretty sure there's...
there's definitely a want and desire for international play in Ireland, for sure, because there's talk of potentially a Dublin bid going up. So I know of a lot of war gamers in the Dublin area, and some of them are very, very scary, as in very good players. So you'd be rubbing shoulders with good lads.
I thought you were just calling them scary then.
No, I'm just scared of Dublin in general.
Better drinkers than us, mate. That's the problem. It's because they have fine Guinness. That's what it is.
Oh, it'd be so good to go there. It would be great. This is one of the things which I've got to say, total tangent, but if anyone does get the chance to do international play of any sort, and I don't just mean joining Team England, Team Ireland, whatever, if you get invited to an event overseas, please do it. It's the first time me and Rich have done it recently, and we had so much fun. Just it almost felt like we were just going to other mates' houses, because wargamers are the most welcoming type of people you will ever meet.
Yeah, so
It's
Tom, we
great.
were literally just back from the Alpine Cup. Actually, they're stunning. I'm going to look forward to going back to as many as I can possibly fit in the year. Actually, really enjoy the Alpine Cup, and that's something going out to all of the people that don't live in England. Like, if you wanted to come over, we would hopefully try and give you the same experience at the UKTC events that we would get in the Alpine Cup. It's just nice
Absolutely.
to meet people from different areas, like from different communities as well, and also the fact that the game is so different in different countries. People play it so differently. So it's really interesting to play into new metas, to try and work out how to play into those metas as well. And it's good.
Like Mangler Squigs. You don't see Mangler Squigs in England that often. It's just not something that people take in Orc and Goblin armies. But in Italy, they swore by them.
I know, and I got wrecked by them as well.
Yeah, exactly. And we were like, what do you do taking a Mangler Squig? Bam! Oh, that's why you took it. Right, okay, I got you now.
So I did manage to get a ticket to Forgotten North. I will be going. That is the weekend before an Italy tournament as well. So that's going to be a lot of gaming for me over those couple of weeks. And then I think we've got another UKTC event a couple of weeks after that as well. So that's going to be a busy couple of weeks.
Yeah,
but looking forward to it, though.
Go. I can't believe how fast it sold out. Just well done to the entire Forgotten North crew. Like, that has to be the fastest sellout event for Old World so far.
Oh, it's insane. We're so happy for them. Like,
yeah,
the events are absolutely amazing. So if anybody is watching this and wants to go to the next Forgotten North, because obviously this one's sold out, please do. They're absolutely brilliant. They just make you feel so welcome. And if we can take anything from those events into ours, then we'll be happy from that.
Yeah, I'm gutted I can't go. Just as Richie said, it's right before an Italy event and right before one that we're running as well. So it logistic nightmare for me, and I think my wife would kill me if she didn't see me one day during November. So
yeah, for sure. So Tom, about the design board layouts. So what we were thinking is, because we know a lot of people don't like symmetrical, but obviously for more competitive games, you want a more symmetrical scenery. So what we were thinking is the top tables, do them all completely symmetrical, and then as we go down, we can place the scenery. But basically, we'll just ask you whether you want it to be symmetrical or not, and then we'll just kind of go from there, really. Because it doesn't have to be symmetrical if you don't want it to be. It can be completely asymmetrical. But on the top tables, I think we're going to force the fact that it is symmetrical, just to make it as competitive as possible at the top ends. Because I do appreciate, like, if I'm bringing a Slayer army, which I might bring. So if I'm going to be Ringer, I'm probably going to bring Slayers. I potentially just want to see if I can run around some forests and stuff. I don't need it to be symmetrical in that case.
Yeah. Again, it's all about having the most possible fun for your type of wargaming. There's two different types of people I see coming to events. Ones that want to get to that top position and want to win. They want the symmetrical tables and they want everything to be on a level playing field. And then you've got the guys who just want to see if they can drink as many beers as possible and sound like a dwarf. You rock on and you do what you want to do with the terrain to just have fun. If you and your opponent agree it, that's cool. You know?
Yeah, those that run the 30 Sisters of Avalon and those that don't. Yeah, definitely. So the WTC and the GT is on the same date in Germany and the GT in Prague. There's just so many massive events going on at the moment. Like, it's so good to see. And I really hope that we can get back to the old days of fantasy when there was just events all of the time. I mean, it's already getting to that, and it's awesome. Like, it's so good to see. Like, I can imagine everyone that's jumping back into this from fantasy. It's just like the good old days, right?
It really is. I mean, I'm gutted I can't go to Leoben in, a few weeks' time, where the Alpine Cup will host their next one. They're doing 10 days of consecutive gaming. That's... Whew, I don't think I could do that. But the fact that that's now back on the table, wargaming's back, like 1,000%.
Yeah, I know. And it's like international wargaming is like massively back as well. It's brilliant. It's so good.
Yeah.
Right. So, Tom, as a WTC is in its infancy, same as 40k and ETC, eventually it'll become a date that won't clash more and more nations take off. At least the years of 40k WTC, we had 50 odd nations. Imagine fantasy with 50. Yes, I know. Like, I
Yeah.
think the WTC at the moment in Germany in Melle is, I think, 17. So yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's going to happen. It'll 100% be coming. Anthony, all good here. Just raining since it's starting to rainy season. Enjoy. I bet the rainy season's absolutely insane over with you, mate. Like, it's actually weirdly sunny in the UK. So the fact that
Yeah.
you've got rain and it's quite nice here is pretty crazy. Thank you so much for the donation, though, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, we keep talking to other people, other TOs who are running events, and they're hitting capacity faster and faster and faster. I mean, Forgotten North is the biggest example. I think they're 48, and they sold that in a day. We'd love to go to 60. We'd love to go to 100. And if we could host something of that size, it would be absolutely amazing. The only problem is if we were doing international, me and Richie would play it. That's the only issue.
So Javier, basically, how do we see the size of the community tournament scene in comparison to mainline games or even 30k? So I am pretty sure that we are already hitting 30k numbers. I'm pretty sure there has been a massive push in, like, with the old world rankings that Como set up and all of the competitive events that are happening across the world that is picking up momentum very, very fast.
Yeah.
So we are almost at levels of Age of Sigmar currently. So at some of the events, there's actually been more people playing fantasy, well, the old world, than Age of Sigmar. So at the LGT last year, there was almost about the same kind of players. And obviously we're another year into the old world. So I can really see old world picking up absolutely crazily. If you can remember back in the day when they used to have the massive GTs, like 150 man, 200 man events, so those would rival 40k. I don't think we're ever going to see the old world rival 40k in any kind of numbers. So like at the LGT last year there was 840k players. Like I don't think we're ever going to see that, but it's like you said, it's very encouraging. And yeah, with the release of Cathay as well, we're only going to get more players. It's only going to get better, hopefully, with the match play guide coming in as well, and the alleged FAQ that's coming hopefully at the same time with Cathay. It's just going to spark even more life into the game. And considering I think there's a lot of life in the game right now anyway, I think this is absolutely amazing news. Something else that I would just like to speak about as well. So we do have a tournament pack for this event. Which we might go through in a minute or might not. We'll see how we're feeling. But it is on the UKTC site. So if you go onto there, you can have a look through the tournament pack. I can link that down below as well. I've also linked where to get the tickets from and everything. So you can have a look yourselves. We will be changing that pack to be in accordance with the match play guide that comes from GW. We want to keep it as GW purist as possible, but we definitely are still keeping the Green Knight out. Sorry, everyone.
At least for the first couple. That's not going to be forever, but for the first couple. But yeah, so what we've got written right now, just this will is what we'll be using for LGT to begin with, definitely. If the match play guide comes out next week and we get enough time to digest it in time for LGT, we'll update it accordingly. Given that we've already seen the article come out, I don't think there's any question on whether it will be used for Coventry or not. There's an incredibly strong chance that we'll get it in time, that everything will be digested and we'll have it up. If there are any little loopholes or problems, we will defer to the powers that be and try and use logical thought on these things. Whatever happens, Green Knight won't be coming out of hills and vortexes again. There's taking things rules as written, and then there's taking things, just with a grain of salt. And that's all that we're going to be trying to do, is light touches to make sure that everyone has fun.
Yeah, this is it. We want everyone to have as much fun as possible, whether you be bringing the fluffiest army you can imagine or you want to crush everyone. We just want to make it the best event that we can. So let's have a look through here. So what are your takes on the Nova's approach? I don't personally agree with that much comp. I am a little bit of a Games Workshop purist. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've enjoyed playing into some of the Ninth Age missions. Like, they're fun. And I think there is a place for mission play. But hopefully we get some of that in the match play guide. So I am kind of staking everything on the fact that Games Workshop will bring out a doozy and it will be worth us doing. And yes, as of the kinks getting ironed out on Peg Knights and Linehammer and stuff like that, I mean, that's definitely going to get ironed out. We're still in basically a patch version of the game at the moment. I think when 1.5 does come out, that will be the first real edition of the game. We've just been basically giving Games Workshop loads of data for the last year. And I think with all these changes coming, it's going to be a glory time for the old world, in my personal opinion.
100%.
And yeah, PPB, it's a great moment for as a Warhammer player. Can't wait to travel with my friends and play international events. Honestly, it's the best way to play. Like having a holiday and throwing some dice and just meeting some amazing people from abroad is just, it's brilliant. It's peak Warhammer in my opinion. Sebastian, the WTC will be my first time traveling abroad for an event and probably won't be able to for another event in 2025, but 2026 I'm excited to travel more for those games. So I don't know if you've seen, but the 2026 WTC is going to be held in Talavera in Spain, so that's pretty exciting. I am gonna fucking melt.
Yeah, it's going to be warm. Going to the desert, boys. Hopefully, but yeah, damn.
Yeah. Like I don't know if anybody like noticed on the videos from Italy, but it was like 35 degrees in that hall. There was no aircon, and I was like a slug. Like I was just glistening everywhere. Like that. I mean, that might have been the spider bite. Yeah.
Yeah, about a third of that was definitely venom just coming out of you.
Like, yeah. Leaf is definitely right. Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to the spiders in the trees. They're in the trees, man.
They're in the trees. They're in the trees. But yeah, it was great. But that I have learned that I'm not going back to Italy in the summer to play Warhammer anymore. I'll go in November, yeah, but not in the summer. Not again. Can we book Iceland or something? I don't know, or just inside a fridge. That's also
Yeah, well,
summer.
well, we've got Team Sweden here, and apparently they're making plans for the WTC in 2026. Can we hide behind you? If you're taking fridges, we'll just
yeah,
we'll hide behind you. It'll be fine. So, Tom, I don't think you need to regret at all about not sticking with it. The community is amazing now, and I would probably say that the community is bigger and stronger than it has ever actually been before. With all of the Discords, with all of the communities, and there's also a load more YouTubers and stuff now. This is definitely the best time to be part of the fantasy community, I think.
Now's a really good time to jump in as well because we have just completed effectively the first cycle of the Arcane Journals. All our core armies have now got one, and the meta for the first time now has a chance to truly settle, and everyone gets to figure out what they're doing. So now's a really good opportunity to jump back in. There's never been as many minis available. G-Dub, if you can get your hands on them, great. If not, you come to people like me, and all the sculptors have now caught up to speed, and there's options for everything now. So you can really get into the game and you can really play the army that you want to play now because all the options are now available to you. Whether things get shaken up in the next few months or so, who knows? But the availability will still be there and the option to play will still be there. Hopefully it's nothing as aggressive as we've seen in 40k or Sigmar, where the entire army is getting validated. But it would be nice to see a little bit of a shake-up, you know?
I don't think they'll go that far. I think if anything, we'll just get more and more stuff added. Like I definitely be things that weren't in the game before that will be coming in. I'm hoping we get Vampire Coast, just kind of everything from Total War. Like they know there's a market for that. Kivati, I hope I pronounced that right. I'm really sorry if I absolutely butchered that. So it was relatively easy for us to transport our stuff on by plane. So there is a company called A Case, which is what I used, which is they kind of do like little cases that fit in the handheld luggage, and then you just magnetize everything in that, and that fit absolutely amazingly. Tom, what was it that you used?
So I have much more of a horde army, and being that it's resin, I didn't trust magnets enough. So I actually went all the way back to old school, and I got a KR case. So cardboard case with foam, and KR sell a backpack as well, so that you can slot your army case in the back and use the front for your clothes and stuff like that. Foam does cause things to break. There is that, but I mean, Richie had a cannon fall on top of a gyrocopter over somewhere.
Yeah, so that was my bad. Yeah, I didn't put enough magnets onto my cannons. I put them on the top of the case. One dropped and it broke through gyrocopters. But considering that we had a flight to Italy and a flight back, only breaking 3 gyrocopters, I mean, I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, more going to a normal event.
Yeah, 100%. Roland Ratus. So basically, the first one that we're going to be taking over is Coventry, but it is our friends that are going to be running the LGT. So it's going to be run with the same pack that we're doing. So hopefully, it'll still be definitely worth going to. I mean, there's quite a few people booked in for that one. So if you've only just joined in now, the Green Knight's banned. It's banned.
Yeah. We're just looking to have some fun. Should we flick through the tournament pack, Richie?
We can do. I don't have my glasses on, so you might have to read everything.
I'll read it out. It's just Richie made a very, very pretty tournament pack. It's nice to show it off.
I mean, let's not lie, everybody. My angry Amy made that for me, so I'm not even going to lie about it.
So the information that we got up here, it's just for the Coventry one for now. So for those of you who are thinking about putting the date in, there you go. It's 25th and 26th of October, and it's the Sports Connection Leisure Club in Coventry. If you haven't been to Coventry before, but you are, Midlands-ish, you'll know it's super easy to get into and out of. It's just off the motorway. There's a decent train connection and decent coach connections. And one of the good things about Coventry is it's cheap as chips. So staying in hotels and stuff like that, because there is no tourism, because no one wants to go to Coventry. So it's really cheap to stay there.
Plus, if you come, you can come have some beers with us and we can go out for food afterwards.
Yeah, one thing I think that it's worth mentioning now as well is you will have that money for beers as well, because I've got to say UKTC is one of the most competitively priced events out there for me. One of the benefits of them being able to take these large venues on is they can get the ticket prices down to quite a reasonable level. I'm not sure if they are 100% firmed up for Coventry, but London I think is less than £50 or £50 itself, which for a London event is very reasonable, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Right, so going on to the next page.
So yeah, welcome brave generals to Chaos Rising. The winds of magic stir and the drums of war thunder once more as Old World awakens at UKTC. Prepare for a weekend of epic battles and unforgettable moments where legends will be forged across 5 thrilling games of Warhammer. So we want you guys to be telling a bit of a story in your head too. If you are just the sweatiest of tournament gamers, you are very, very welcome here. But if you want to bring your troll horde, led by Niblet the Goblin Wizard, and you just want to see what Niblet can do over the weekend, please come. I am so ready to hear about Niblet's adventures in between games. I want to hear all about it. I want you to get excited. And I want you to paint a miniature in between the 2 different events to show Niblet's adventures and how he's getting stronger. We want you to really forge your adventures here.
Something interesting as well that we've kind of talked about. I don't think we're going to do it this year just because we're kind of going to try and let the rankings kind of even out and stuff. But something we were considering doing next year is doing seeded first games as well. So those like hyper competitive players that come, you don't have to worry about playing someone that isn't your level. And also those people that come in for fun, you don't have to worry about playing first game into someone who's going to win the event. So if we can go through that, seed all of those games, because let's face it, no one who is going to win the event, like they don't want to like hold back from someone. And also the people that are potentially there to have the funnest time playing Warhammer in their life, they don't want to play against someone that's got like triple dragons. They don't want that. So that's something we're definitely going to look at doing going forward. But that'll probably be next year, just when we've got more data available.
Yeah, 100%. So it's more than just a tournament. It's a celebration of strategy, sportsmanship, and the joy of shared battle. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a newcomer eager for glory, Chaos Rising promises an experience that's as fun as it is fair. And that leads into what Richie was saying about seeding. We're not going to do it initially. We're going to let things just settle. But if it's something that looks like it will be really healthy for the environment, we can bring that in quite quickly. Also, Tom Brown, I'm not banning the chalice. I might make it twice a game, though, just for you.
Ban the chalice! Ban the chalice!
So our mission's simple. To host events where every game is a great game, where victory is sweet but camaraderie is sweeter. Our dedicated team will be with you all weekend to support, answer questions, and ensure everything runs smoother than a well-oiled gyrocopter. So our teams, myself and Richie, are the ones who will be doing it. Richard and Paul are going to be doing the ones in London, as well as maybe doing some other ones in between. But then you've got the entire UKTC crew. The whole event is flooded with people who are there and willing to help you, whether that's finding your way about the venue itself, because some of these things can be quite big, helping to find where the toilets are, finding where the shops are and stuff like that. There's everyone in that building is designed to help you.
Yeah, so basically the UKTC events are absolutely massive. And people can say that ones they've been to before have been a little impersonal. So we're trying to go away from that. We're always going to be there. I'm going to be walking up and down tables, asking you about your games and stuff. And I genuinely do care. So, and I know Tom does as well. So basically we're going to try and add that personal touch that Rob does at the TSN, that the Forgotten North crew do. That's something we really want to put into these, because we're literally only doing this to try and help the community. The pay from this isn't like it's not for that at all. We're trying to do this to make more people enjoy the game, and obviously if that's something that people enjoy, then we can carry on doing it. But yeah, we're trying to do this for you.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, the armies that we want you to bring. We're not being overly restricted with things. So this is just a very small event overview. We will get into a bit more detail on army construction later, but very clean, 2,000 points, 5 games as you'd normally play them, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, using a 20-0 scoring system and using 200-point brackets, 251 for the top bracket. Now, if GW does touch on those last 2 points in their match play guide, we will be using what they print as gospel.
Yeah. So whether it changes to win or draw or stays at 20-0 or goes into that kind of weird mergy system that Rob was on about the other day, we will use that. So it's going to be gospel. I do personally prefer 20-0, and the reason I prefer that is if you've lost 5 of your games but you've managed to get 9 points in each game, at least you're not coming dead last and you can actually use those points. But that's just me personally, but we're going to use whatever Games Workshop says. So we don't need to look at the time schedule. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Right. So oh, carry on, mate. Carry on.
I was going to say, have you got this one, Richie? I've spoken enough. You have this one.
Oh, yeah, right. So for army composition, so it's all factions allowed, including legacies. Unfortunately, the square-based Renegade pack isn't allowed. That's not down to us, guys. So there's no personal feelings there at all. We have obviously played in events with the Renegades. But yeah, we kind of got a firm no for that one, unfortunately. There is also no allies. Just I know that they're being used in the S-bot at the moment, so I'm interested to see how that goes. So far at the moment, we are going to use the rule of 3 and then a rule of 6 in core. The Arcane Journals are all going to be allowed. The cutoff period is going to be a week before, so just in case anything drops. Mercenaries allowed, and there's no Green Knight, as I've been saying. But this could all just change. So whatever it says in the match play guide, that is going to be absolutely gospel, apart from the Green Knight.
Apart from the Green Knight. Unless they change the Green Knight, in which case, yeah, we'll use those changes for sure.
yeah, for sure. We probably don't really need to talk about the FAQ really. It's all of the details of that are in the main one if you want to go and have a look at that.
Yeah.
But the FAQ details, just kind of really standard stuff, really. So we've just really standard stuff, like nothing that's going to affect the top tables, but then it's just going to make people enjoy the game a little bit more. So
yeah, I
absolutely
think
nothing crazy.
The main ones that people probably want to know about here is TMP is going to be wholly within, and we're also giving single models that are less than 25% points. We'll be giving out 50% of their victory points. So if you manage to take the Chaos Dragon down to 2 wounds, you'll get half his points, just to give it a little bit back.
Yeah, which is something I just firmly believe in. It really annoys me when you don't get any points. Like, how many times have you been there fighting against the dragon and it's got 1 wound left at the end of the game and you don't get any bastard points for it at all? It can be a feels bad, and that's something that we want to try and get away from, is just kind of any feels bads, really, like if we can help it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let's
so
have a look.
Missions next.
Oh, I've gone wrong. I've gone wrong.
On the wrong one. You were doing. It had to happen at some point. You were doing so.
Yeah. So basically, I don't even know if there's any point us looking at the missions, because these missions are going to completely change to what's coming out with the match play guide. So it's probably not even worth looking, I don't think. We were just going to do some standard ones and then a little fun one of Kill the Messenger, but probably not going to do that now.
Key
so
thing
the
to
terrain.
note with the missions, just with the missions quickly, sorry, Richie. Key thing to note is we weren't looking to mess around too much. I think that's the key thing. We weren't putting in 5 different levels of objectives where you need banners and units and stuff like that. If GW go that direction, we'll go that direction. But personally, I don't want to influence how you build your army too much. You know, you build the army that you want to build and you bring it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, there is potential that Games Workshop are going to be dropping objectives. So we would probably like to hear back in like a little bit of feedback from everyone, whether they would want a couple of objective missions, 1 objective mission, or like if they do come out. I mean, obviously if they don't, I'm just chatting crap, right? But hopefully, hopefully they do. I think like a spattering of some objective missions would be quite good. So with the terrain setups, it's just woods are difficult, swamps are dangerous, ruins are dangerous and offer light cover, fields are going to be difficult, and then buildings are impassable and they can't be garrisoned. So really simple. Just what we'll do is we'll probably have these printed out just so that people can have them on the tables as well. Just to make it really easy for everyone, because you don't want any arguments mid-game, right? Right, so I'm just going to ignore the scoring breakdown because that's probably going to change. So we just got like a little tiered system. So glory to wait, the legends will be forged in battles. So sportsmanship, strategy, and then fun. So basically from this is we want everyone to have fun. And then the people that want to use lots of strategy, obviously there's going to be a few less of them. Then the sportsmanship, like it'd be amazing if everyone could be, but obviously it's an event. So we know what happens. And then the glory awaits. So those who are going to do really well. But yeah, sod those guys, right? Right, here we go. Where's the next one? I hate computers.
It's all good.
Has that worked? Right.
There is one more. It's prize support. I've got it. I can rattle it off. I've got it.
Have I got it? Has that worked? That hasn't worked.
There should be one more page.
There is. There we go. Has that worked?
No, it's okay. I've got it. I got it. So one thing that we really wanted to do here is try and give some really special prize support and try and give back as much as we can. Part of me joining this is my company, UK Resin Print. We'll be giving out some prize support throughout the event in terms of both spot prizes. So if me and Richie just see some cool things happening, you go grab yourself a model just for doing something cool. Also, it's going to be for a whole host of prizes throughout the event. It'll be split between prize support from myself and also UKTC trophies. And me and Richie saw a sneak peek of them the other day, and they look gorgeous. Once we get the proper photos for them, I'm sure Richie will have them up on the channel.
Yeah, so we have managed to batter Zach, and basically we are going to have prizes for pretty much everything. Because we do kind of feel that everybody deserves something, I think.
So the list that we've got, we are for top generals, we'll be recognising best, second best, and third best generals. We'll be doing special awards for most sporting and best legacy honours. Army excellence, so we'll be doing coolest army, best painted army, because they are two very different things that I have this conversation with. I pick up best painted in a lot of places, and there are people who are definitely better painters than me that grab it. My army looks cool and makes you want to throw up, and people vote for it because of that. But it's not better painted than a ton of other people who deserve that level of respect. So just because mine looks cool doesn't mean that someone else hasn't done better. So split it. So coolest army, best painted single model. So we'll have our own mini golden demon at the event, and coolest conversion. There's more. We're going to do best in faction, and we're going to do the killiest person of the weekend. So whoever is, it doesn't matter if you win, but if you've killed the most models and scored the most points, there'll be a prize for that. And then the best one, there will be the wooden spoon. And it'll be for the light-hearted recognition of less fortunate outcomes. But we'll get you something special for it, don't you worry.
I think if you're not going to win the event, you might as well just aim to really win and get the wooden spoon. That's something that I used to do that all the time.
1 and 2's already gone down. Let's see how far this rabbit hole goes, shall we? You know?
Yes. And this is where jokes to everyone, the price for the wooden spoon is going to be better than everything else. So
yeah. I'm going to make sure that they go home with the most vouchers. So yeah, it's going to be a whole host of stuff up for grabs, and it'll be a little bit different for each event as well. So really a good atmosphere.
Yeah, we are really looking forward to starting running them, and we could be really hopeful that we do get quite a few people come in. Like, it'd be amazing to see everybody there. So hopefully we'll definitely see some of you there. The LGT obviously is going to be run by Rich. He's a really, really nice guy. So when you go, please say hi to him. Lovely, lovely bloke. I know Paul's going as well and helping out. So they will be run really well. Like, he's got experience running events too. So they'll be run really smoothly. Rich is a bit more, I would say, like, narrative focused with his events. So he'll be just a really nice guy, where we might be a little bit firmer with people, maybe.
Yeah. That's not to say that you can get away with it at Rich's. He does still know how to throw the banhammer. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. So is there anything that you want to know in chat, guys? Anything you want to know about the events coming up, or just about anything in general, really? We'll have a bit of Q&As for the next couple of minutes. And see what you can kind of throw at us.
Yeah. It's a very exciting time for events in general at the moment. Like from next year, there's going to be one every weekend up and down the UK. So there's really going to be a lot to choose from.
I know, it's insane. It's just going to be so good for everyone. Like, if you can just go into an event every week. I know, obviously, that's a massive like time investment and monetary investment as well. But if you could, then that'd be amazing. Jason. Unfortunately, I don't have my spider powers yet. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for them to come. Although I'm still on pills for the spider bite, so I am hoping that once the pills are done and I finish my course, then my spider powers will kick in. So hope I'm pretty. I live in hope. I live to be hopeful, mate. I just want to climb some walls. Actually, I mean that'd be quite good. Charlie, so any plans to run a team event? Yeah. So the answer to that is a resounding yes for next year. 100% we want to do teams. I'm quite a firm believer in just grabbing a group of your mates and playing some Warhammer is the best way you can do it. Because do you know what that means? If you're doing really shit and your mates are doing really well, it doesn't matter that you've done shit because it's brilliant.
Yeah, along with so teams and doubles is something that we're really invested in doing. We're looking at the Leicester date for doing doubles this year, and then next year we're basically trying to just nail down when the best time to do a teams event is, when is the most opportune moment for it. So it's going to be probably in the first quarter of next year. As soon as we figure out which venue that will be, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, because we know a lot of the community, we can just get you to vote for what you want to do, actually. So if people do want to go to a Teams event, we can do that. If people want some really sweaty singles, we can do that too. But yeah, we are definitely looking at doing a Funsy Christmas doubles event near Christmas. So I see in Leicester, right?
In Leicester, yeah. So the pack will be up for that pretty much as soon as General Handbook comes out. We're gonna, or Match Play Guys, sorry, we'll readdress our pack, and then we'll get all the events labelled up so people know what they're coming in for, and you can start all buying tickets.
Yeah, well, it'd be good to see everyone. Sigmarite Painter, how's it going? Good afternoon. you beating the sneaky Forest Goblin Riders ambush, mighty warrior. Yeah, right. I passed my regen. We don't have to worry, but poison can take down toughness 10. All right, that's it was quite funny actually. So basically, I got bitten on the Friday. I didn't realize that anything had really happened. I just thought it was a mosquito bite because all of us just had got absolutely eaten.
Oh, we got eaten alive. My missus counted 98 bites on my legs when I got home.
Really? It's probably the amount of focaccia we were eating and the gelato, probably.
Oil fills up.
Yeah, exactly. So I got bitten. Like I didn't even know that there was black widows in Italy. And then I just like my legs started to swell up, getting quite bad. Pushed through the Saturday, started limping, and then on Sunday it felt absolutely awful. My leg had started to go like pretty gammy actually. I won't show pictures or anything. And then collapsed after the event. And luckily, we had one of the players from the event from Team Ludic, and he was a medic. He called an ambulance for me, got the anti-venom and stuff. So apparently, that place in Italy is the only place where black widows are because they like do all the rice and stuff. I had no idea.
Yep.
And yeah, it turns out I'm also allergic to black widows, so that could have been really bad. But how are you meant to know that you're allergic to something like that? Like, fucking
great
mental.
way to find out. Great way to find out, but yeah.
Plucky's Tabletop Parlor, you're right, mate. Hope you're going. Loving the videos, by the way, mate. You're absolutely smashing it at the moment. So yeah, we did speak about this a little bit earlier, but we'll just let you know, Lau, we are completely changing it to be the scoring that is done by the Match Play Guide. So whatever that is, we're going to use it as gospel, and that is what we're going to use going forward. We're going to try and keep the events as close to Games Workshop as humanly possible, with a couple of little tweaks just to make it better for people. So like no Green Knight, if they don't change TMP, we're going to keep TMP changed just because it's a little bit nicer for players. Like you don't need to rely on crutches like that. I don't think.
Yeah, and hopefully the terrain that we use as well won't be oppressive, but it'll be enough to stop people running 120 man 2 king bricks that are 3 foot wide, you know.
Yeah, 100%. It'd be quite nice to see if they change the Linehammer rules. I'm super excited about that. If they get rid of the amount of attacks that they can put out or something and make it look a bit more like Warhammer, that's just better for everyone. So, Match Play Guide, new FAQ. It's a good time. It's a good time to be an old world player, I think, and some new tournaments coming, everyone.
Exactly, and then once that does drop as well, whenever that might be, I'm sure Rich will be putting up a video within the few days that comes out. And I'll jump on again and we'll say how that's going to impact the events moving forward, and how that's going to change, and how we're going to implement everything. So we'll keep you guys as updated as humanly possible over the very tumultuous few weeks we've got looking ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be some big changes. David, so the change that we're doing for TMP is just basically no model can move more than 12. Done. Easy, and isn't as obnoxiously bullshit. So
Yeah. So it encourages realistic play and not I'm throwing my goblin 9 feet away onto that table.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. Javier, I'm glad that you're hyped, mate. Hopefully, you do get to come to one eventually. So, Tom, yes, we're a little bit worried about the secret missions as well. Unless that they get put into a lot of events, I'm not a massive fan of putting them in just yet. I think we're going to have to see how the community responds to
Mhm.
that first. We wouldn't want to do anything that ruins people's enjoyment of the game. And if you lose in the game because you pulled 3 bloody stupid objectives, then yeah, we'll probably stay away from
Yeah.
that in the meantime. But then if the majority of people want to use them, then that's fine. We'll
Ho-
just go with what the masses want, really.
yeah. Hopefully, there is a tiered approach to whatever they're doing. So we've heard about secret missions, we've heard about secondary objectives, and all of these. So hopefully, we have, like a base mission with a secondary, with a secret, and we'll just say, okay, we won't do the secret bit because it just takes the argument out of the game. Secondary sound fun. Secrets, there's a trust element there. I get that.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the secrets. Javier, yes, definitely come down to Talavera, mate. I will. I mean, I'm gonna have to drink my body weight in beer to not die of heat stroke. To be perfectly honest, I'm not built for I'm not built for Spain at all.
To be honest, regardless of whether, because I think it sits near enough when our team might change over, I'm going to go regardless. I'm going to be a cheerleader if I'm not going to be playing. Sounds like a great weekend.
Yes, PPB, thank you so much for the help, mate. Really, really appreciate it. And yes, you were a wiser man than me. I don't know what it. I just wanted to sleep, mate. To be honest, I think the poison had already got me by then. I was just like, I want to sleep, mate. I'm
You're
going
being
to
a
go.
stubborn old English goat, just going, no, I don't need the doctors. I don't need the doctors. Just give me a paracetamol and a beer, and I'll be all right.
Yeah, but really appreciate the help, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And it was amazing to meet you all as well. To be fair. Hopefully we'll be over to Italy again. So we're looking at potentially coming back over in November. There is an Alpine Cup that's going to be going up. So excited.
Hmm.
Right, so we got a couple more messages from Tom. So exactly the secret mission bit as the issue. Secondaries is great, 100%. Yeah, completely agree with that. Secret, potentially get in the bin. Secondaries, love that. What do you mean by the team changing over, Tom? Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, in terms of Team England, it would just be a case of we wanted to make sure from the outset that Team England was never going to be a boys' club. So there will be a vote in every year for players. As simple as that. Making sure that it doesn't just become Richie and his best mates being overlords forever. But if people want Richie in forever, Richie stays forever. It's all a voted thing.
Yeah, so basically, if anyone wants to get involved in any of that stuff, we've got a Team England Discord chat, which I can probably link into this if people are interested, if you're not in. But yeah, so you can just get in contact with everyone and chat to everyone and find out some tactics and see what's going on and everything. And then at the end of the year, there will be votes for the next team, really. So it should be good fun. Charlie, has any event dabbled with seeding? No, they haven't, but that is something that we're going to be looking into doing next year. Just to make all of the games hard for competitive, absolute dirt monsters like yourself, and also mean that people don't play into someone that's going to beat them if they've only just like their first game of Warhammer. Like, you don't want that.
All of the events we hosted through New Recruit as well. So it means that in doing so, we'll just naturally tabulate all of the people who've come to the events. Like I'll be able to see, let's say Charlie, for example, comes to 3 events and scores 20-0 all the time. It'll say that on all of our documentation. So it will naturally, whilst we might not publish a league record because Old World ranking exists and there's no point undoing all the hard work Gomo's done, if we can see there are regulars coming to our events and doing regularly well at our events, we can make sure that first round pairings are something we can look into.
Well, I mean, Charlie's just going to 20-0 everyone anyway, right?
Yeah, he can just play against himself. The true mirror.
Yeah. So for everybody that's watching this, Charlie actually has tickets to go to the Welsh Open, so he's not going to be at our first event in Coventry, so you don't have to worry about playing into that soulless bastard at all. It's a good.
He's not soulless. He has a strong collection. Everyone he plays.
Yeah, I know. It's a good job. He's good looking, right?
Yeah, smiliest person who'll ever kill you.
So Tom, to be honest, if I were to play a guy in his first ever event, whilst I'm not worried about losing, but like anyone, I'd make sure that it's the best time ever, and and we had a great game. I do 100% appreciate that. I would be exactly the same. But what the problem with that does is it's the expectations of the games, and you potentially would put yourself out of winning the event if you were trying to give him the best game as possible. So what you want to try and do with the seeding is align two people with the same expectation. So you want to enjoy the game, we'll put you into someone who wants to enjoy the game. The people who are playing on the top tables, they get their enjoyment out from smashing like their opponents. If you put two people like that together, then they're going to have the similar levels of enjoyment.
Yeah, we could look into having an opt-in system as well. So if you wanted to join the seeding system, we could have that. If you wanted to have randomness, we could have that too. I don't think it would cause too many headaches for just doing manually round one, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Nice, Andrew. So weirdly, I disagree a bit, at least for round one. Some of the best games I've ever had and the best learning experiences, I've been against the best players, speaking from both AOS and older. 100%. But obviously, if you win your first game, then you can be up playing against those players anyway. Like, we wouldn't be able to control anything after game one anyway. So as long as you do well, you can definitely play into them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom, got it. So grudge match Charlie and get my head kicked in. Yes. Yeah. I think anyone kind of grudge matching into Charlie's probably.
It's
Charlie,
a brave choice.
Yeah. Charlie, has anyone ever grudge matched you, mate? Actually, I can imagine that not ending very well.
No, I mean, he's beaten my ass. I didn't want it twice. You know, it's like, yeah, you did that. That's enough. Cool. I understand now. I've gone to school. I don't think so. Not surprised.
Yeah, no, not at all. Charlie, I'll grudge you next event, mate. It'll be fine. So is there anything else that anybody else wants to know before we get off? Anything about the UKTC events coming out? Obviously, we're not running LGT, but if you want to know anything about that, we can get you in touch with the people that are running it. But yeah, we'll hopefully see as many of you there as possible. We're just excited to start running some fun events. And if you have any queries or if you want to see any changes and everything, please just let us know. We're, like I said before, we're doing this for you so that you can have some more events to actually go to and to have some fun. We won't be playing in the events ourselves. We're just going to be walking around chatting to everyone. And I'll just be laughing at all of the bad dice and hopefully cheering on everyone who wants to kill dragons, basically.
Yeah. So I look forward to seeing all of you there. And one thing which I'd really love for people to start doing is bringing people to events as well. We know that there are tons of you hardened specialists who can come and beat all of us any day. Bring a mate. Show them how fun it can be, you know?
So, Tanako, so not specifically related to Old World, but I have a player in my local meta that is stressed play because of how good he is. He's a great guy, though. So, are you worried about he's just hard to play against because of how good he is at the game, or is it his army that's a little bit too strong to play into for yours? Is it like an expectation thing, or... So David, yes, we do actually. We are going to be running... Well, we're technically taking over all of the UKTC events. So there is actually 11 events next year. We're only personally going to be running 6 of them, but Rich and Paul are going to be taking over the other ones as well. So there will be a lot of events going down south. So as they get...
well, I can rattle off what this year's ones so you have an example of locations. So you had Nottingham, Manchester, Sheffield, Bristol, Leeds, London, Coventry and Leicester. So that was this year's events. Obviously, next year's will get announced as and when in due course. But there's a really good spread of events.
Yeah, and all around the UK as well, which is really, really nice. So Leaf, this one's for you, Tom. If you wanna read it, mate.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to make Coventry. We definitely look at Leicester. Tom, you might be getting a shopping list for me in the next few months. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I would love to. I would love any and all of you to come on down to UK Resin Print. You know, you get a discount code if you use Dowie After Dark at the checkout, and you can know that all the pretty models will be legal on our tables too, because we are totally miniature agnostic.
Yeah, bring whatever you want. So Pluckies, feel free bringing my Wood Elf Dragon to every event, but I love it. Honestly, mate, don't, because the rest of the army's shit, so don't worry about it.
Oh, tell us how you really feel, Richie. Jeez.
Mate, I don't like knife ears. What are you on about?
No, that's fair. That's what I mean. I'm a Beastman player, so fair. I'm on the same one.
Mate, yeah. Elves could be the strongest army in the game. They're still not getting any love from me. It's not happening.
No. I'll have your beard. That sounds like a YouTube war just started happening.
Yeah,
Right
that's fighting talk. That is Elgu. So Tanaka, yeah. So I know it's always hard when you're playing someone that you know is very good at the game, but I think it's probably just worth having the talk with them about their expectations in the game, and also trying to get them to teach you going forward. I'm sure if they're that good that they don't want to just smash you, and they'll also be looking to try and rise you up as well, and that's definitely worth a conversation.
Yeah, training games are a really useful thing to have where you set parameters for you and your opponent and say, I want to specifically get better at this part of the game. And just sit down and have that conversation with them.
Yeah, for sure. Right, PBB. If you had recommend just one tournament in England to play, which one would it be? I would. So for me, I would say it kind of comes into two camps really. If you want to feel like you're at a family run tournament which feels really close and you just kind of get looked after and you feel like one of the family, then go to Rob's events at the TSN in the Square Based. If you want to go to a like a bigger, more competitive event, which can get a little bit sweaty, you either want to go to the Welsh Open or the Black Country GTs. If you want to go to something a bit more up north, which has a mix between the two, so it's got the family vibes and also the kind of like the cutting edge of competitive play, that would be the Forgotten Norths. And then if you want to see us, you come to the UKTC, mate. That's the.
Oh, so yeah, UKTC would be the biggest volume of players if you really want to rub shoulders with all types of gamers. And one more thing to add on to Forgotten North is it's probably the singularly most accessible international event because it's at a hotel which is adjoined to Newcastle Airport. So you walk
another
out
one.
the you know.
I've been forgetting as well the Colchester Clash as well. So if you're down south and you're down that neck of the woods, the Colchester Clash is also a really good one to go to as well.
Yeah, there's a Facebook page, UK Old World Events, which is kept fairly updated, and then the Old World Rankings website has got a fairly well updated event calendar on there as well. So there's always ways to check on these things. And then you've got the UKTC website, which houses all of its own events as well.
But yeah, we'll be doing a load of videos going forward anyway. Obviously, Games Workshop is kind of scuppering us a little bit because they haven't put out the match play guide yet. But as soon as we've got that, we'll be updating with that. And yeah, we'll just be going forward. Right. I think that's probably it for us. I think we've probably spoke about everything that we want to. I think. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for everybody for watching. Hopefully, if you want any more questions answered, just leave us some comments down below or just message us on Discord or anything. Like, you know exactly where to find us. So if you want to know anything, please don't hesitate to ask. We are here to just help out. So we will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much, everyone. And we will hopefully see you at some of the UKTC events or just around the world the next event we see you at. So take care, everyone.
Toodles.
Right. And